Well, hey YouTube, Ben Potter here, and today I want to share with you what I'm calling a pedal platform patch. Now, when we talk about an amp being a good pedal platform, we're generally talking about an amp that has a good clean sound that sounds good with pedals, and in particular, overdrive pedals. And I know a lot of people use an HX Stomp or even a Helix floor, LT, or rack as part of a bigger rig with other pedals. And if that's you, you might just be looking for a good bass amp sound for you to run your other effects with, whether that's other effects in Helix or other effect pedals. And so that's really what the heart of this patch is. It's called Prince Tone because it's based on, or it uses the Princess amp model that's new in the 3.0 update for Helix and the 1x12 Princess cab. And the Princess amp model is based on the Fender Princeton amp. So this patch is available for free in the CustomTone website, and a link will be in the description to this patch so that you can download it if you choose. Like I said, the heart of this patch is the Fender Princess amp model, and it's designed for you to be able to add whatever other effects you want to it. But I have included some other effects for you just to get you started. So I have a plate reverb, and then I have a stereo tremolo and a stereo delay. And I've tried to lay this patch out so that no matter what Helix product you're using and what foot switch options you have, everything should be pretty well available for you. So the stereo delay is on foot switch 2 and the stereo tremolo is on foot switch 1, and that leaves foot switch 3 open for tap tempo and tuner if you're using an HX Stomp and you only have those 3 foot switches available. Now, another thing that I have included in this patch is the heir apparent. It's placed before the amp model, and I've kind of set the settings to sort of replicate my favorite setting on my actual Prince of Tone pedal. And that effect block is not mapped to any foot switch, and it is off when you load up the patch. So if you have an HX Stomp and you're using an extra foot switch with it, or if you don't use the tap tempo and you have that foot switch assigned to effects, you could assign that heir apparent to that foot switch or an external foot switch. If you're using one of the bigger Helix products that has more foot switches available, you could assign the heir apparent to one of those foot switches as well. Like I said, the reverb and tremolo are stereo. I typically use this patch with headphones, and when I'm playing through headphones, I like to take advantage of the stereo capabilities of the Helix. But if you needed this to be a mono patch, you could very easily just go and use the mono versions of those effects in the patch. You could just go and change that yourself in there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the pedal board and play through some of the sounds that I'm getting out of this patch. I'll play just kind of the bass patch and what's included, and then I'll start playing through some of my other pedals that I have going into the stomp so that you can hear how this patch reacts to some other pedals. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about what the other pedals on my board are and what they're doing. If you're interested more on that, I rebuilt my big pedal board about a month ago, and I made a video about it, which I'll also link to in this video, where I talk about everything that's on my board, why it's there, give some more playing examples. That video I actually play through my Blues Junior, so I'm using the Helix just for effects in that video, and so you can hear how it sounds in that context as well. So if you're interested more on that, you can check that video out. The only difference between the board now and the board in that video is I took some Christmas money and got the Keeley compressor, and so I'm using that instead of the DoD compressor that you'll see in that video. The guitar I'm using today is my Fender Mexican Standard Telecaster from 2016, so this is pre-player series. I don't play this guitar a whole lot, unfortunately, so I've been picking it up and playing it a little bit more recently and decided that I would use it in this patch. So I hope this patch is just a good baseline for you to be creative and include some of your own effects to, and serves as a really good foundation for your tone, and I hope you enjoy. So thanks for watching. All right, so here is just the basic patch. So this is the amp model and the plate reverb bridge pickup. Here's now the delay. And with the tremolo. So like I said, that is pretty much the base patch. Here's with a little bit of overdrive. Here's now another overdrive print to tone. I guess now would be a good time to show you. So like I said, there is the Prince of Tone here, the Heir Apparent is the first thing in the chain. So here's the Helix setting. And the pedal. So that is included on the patch should you choose to use it. Here is the Analogman Sunface. Now I like to use the Sunface as a boost. So I'm actually going to put on the Prince of Tone and then run the Sunface into it. Now if I just do that, it's going to sound really woolly and muddy. So what I like to do is I like to back the guitar volume off just a little bit, and it cleans it, it brightens it up just a little bit and kind of cleans it up a little bit. Now if I pull the Prince of Tone off and turn my volume up, I get just the fuzz. This is going to be a lot louder. Just giving you warning, this is going to be pretty loud because I have the volume turned up on the fuzz face that it kind of boosts into the other pedals. And if I pull my volume back, it cleans up. little bit of the Charlie Brown from JHS. So you've got a couple different flavors of Overdrive. The blues driver I have set up actually to kind of mimic the Prince of Tone. If I put the Prince of Tone on boost mode and kind of dial in the settings that I like, the blues driver is actually dialed in to kind of match that. So it's just a really light. It's a really light overdrive. I like to use that especially with my Les Paul, where it's kind of hitting the pedals a little bit harder. The way that the blues driver is set, it doesn't compress as much as the Prince of Tone does, and so I kind of like having both of those options on there. But you can hear kind of the tonality. The drive level is different, but the tonality between the blues driver and the Prince of Tone is pretty similar here. So I'll let you kind of listen to that. So I hope that you find this patch useful. I hope that it can be the foundation for you to kind of get creative and put in your own effects. Again, if that's different effect pedals like I have here, or whether you're adding effects in Helix and just using this as your base starting point tone. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you find this patch useful. Again, link to it is in the description. Bye.